Coming up in the National Report, police search for a murder convict on the run.
A resort development in Bimini sets the stage for more employment.
And a bumpy ride in the sky forcing quite a reaction from passengers. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report starts now.
Now in HD. ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight. This portion of the news brought to you by BTC Every Day.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Keish Latterly. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight.
And good evening, I'm Charisma Robinson.
Well, topping the news tonight, an island-wide hunt is on for a prison inmate. According to police reports, he made his getaway from a moving vehicle as he was being transported from court to the Department of Corrections. Our Fern Carey is following the story.
26-year-old murder convict Orman Leon is now a wanted man after he escaped from the prison bus while it was on his way to the Bahamas Department of Corrections. Just hours prior to his escape, Leon appeared in the Supreme Court before Justice Bernard Turner. He was expecting to learn his fate for the murder of Francisco Hanner back in 2011. However, the matter was pushed back to a later date. The Crown prosecutor suggested that Leon be sentenced to 30 to 60 years for Hanner's murder, noting that the sentence should reflect society's abhorrence to such crimes. It also should be viewed as a deterrent and protect civil society. She also noted that Leon has not shown any remorse for the murder. However, Leon's attorney, Terrell Butler, contended that he was not the shooter and had just given the killer a ride. She also noted that Leon was just 22 when the crime was committed and suggested that he be given a sentence in the lower range like Donna Vasily, who was sentenced to 20 years for killing her husband. And although Leon breached the prison rules after getting involved in a fight to assist a friend, Butler said prison officers still spoke well of him. After hearing from both sides, Justice Turner adjourned the sentencing to February 16th. Now, following that hearing, we are told Leon was on the prison bus in the area of the Paradise Island Bridge en route to the prison when he apparently escaped. Fern Carey, ZNS Network News.
Well, police are turning up the heat at this hour, searching for the escapee. They headed to the Key West Street area early this afternoon, distributing photos of the convict. Senior Assistant Commissioner of Police Leon Bethel is leading the team of officers throughout New Providence, and he says the search will extend into key areas as police seek to recapture him.
For some reason, he did not want the court justice, so we are here to look for him and to bring him to justice. We're going to do that all through this evening. Tonight, we're not going to stop until we find him. We have information that he is already linked up with some of his associates, some other criminals. And I want to warn those criminals now, they better turn him in. I want to warn his family members, turn him in so they'll be able to go and see him in prison. Turn him in right now. If you have any information on where he is at, turn him in. We're going to be here. We're going to be searching every crease and corner to find him. He's not going to sleep. He may not even get nothing to eat because we are not going to allow that to happen. We want him. If he have any ounce of decency in him, he should turn himself in right now so we can march him up to prison where he's supposed to be.
Now, the Senior Assistant Commissioner of Police is asking the public to continue to offer its assistance as they expand their search and surveillance throughout the night.
I'm asking all the citizens of this island, please support your police. We need this Orman Leon off the street now. We cannot wait for a couple more minutes because something may happen. He may go and try to harm someone else. Please, everybody, support your police in this venture. And we are acting based on the information, based on the support we're getting from members of the public right now. And you will see us in all areas. This is one team. We have other teams all over following up on information that we get from members of the public.
A Sky Bahamas flight landed safely at Lyndon Pinland International Airport today after pilots experienced engine trouble. Sky Bahamas President Captain Randy Butler told ZNS News today that the 11:30 a.m. flight from Nassau to Freeport was about 5 minutes in when the pilot realized something was wrong.
We had a flight en route from Nassau to Freeport. Pilots heard an unusual noise coming from the engine. Out of precaution, shut that engine down. Airplane flies, they were just off Nassau, a couple of minutes out of Nassau. And pilot did what he was trained to do and brought back the passengers safely. Aircraft landed without incident. The passengers praised the pilot and the action of the crew on board. And 5 passengers were on board. 4 of those passengers continued on the next Sky Bahamas flight, and 1 stayed.
A frightening encounter for a driver today. As you can see, New Providence resident Calvin Jones is lucky to be alive tonight as the 2000 Honda Acura he was driving this morning overturned in the embankments off the east-west highway. ZNS News got the call shortly before 7:30 this morning. When we arrived there, Jones was watching tow truck operators extract his car from the bushes. Police had to direct traffic in order for the car to be removed from the area. Jones was extremely thankful to be alive and credits wearing a seat belt for saving his life. Traffic police officers are continuing an investigation into the matter. Meantime, government is currently exploring new avenues of reform, especially for drug offenders. Minister of National Security, the Honorable Dr. Nottage, revealed that a drug court will soon be established to deal with people who commonly use drugs. The minister was delivering opening remarks at a workshop put on by the Organization of American States and Inter-American Drug Abuse Control Commission. According to Dr. Nottage, the drug court will include a rehabilitation program as recommended by international partners.
Rather than putting people in jail, particularly for minor drug offenses, give them the opportunity to receive treatment, to go into a counseling program, to be able to access some skills training, and to become employable, and hopefully to reduce the demand for drugs in that way. You know, it costs us about $14,000 to keep someone in prison for a year. This money would be much better spent. It could be spent on reforming people and rehabilitating them and reintegrating them into the society. And so the Drug Treatment Court is a court which would have on its staff a judge, social workers, educators, etc., who provide support and backup for the treatment of these persons.
While surrounding countries like Jamaica and the United States have taken steps to legalize drug use, Minister Nottage said this is not on the agenda for the Bahamas at this time.
Well, I mean, what happens in Jamaica, I hope it stays in Jamaica when it comes to drugs. But there's been no serious demand in the Bahamas for that kind of social policy, and the government is certainly not considering it at this time.
Well, if you know of a crime, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers at 328-8477. You can also reach them toll-free at 242-300-8477. You can also check their website at www.crimestoppersbahamas.com. Let's stop the crime before it's your time. On to other news this evening that could impact employment and tourism figures. It promises to provide a boost by mid-year for an island where tourism activity has slowed in recent weeks. The Hilton flag will be carried in Bimini when the newest addition to tourism offerings opens just in time for one of the biggest holidays on the U.S. calendar.
This is what it looks like now, but by April, developers of this property, which will carry the Hilton flag, expect for it to open in grand style in the heart of South Bimini. Prime Minister Perry Christie toured the extension of the Resorts World facility recently, eager to see it recharge the Twin Islands.
It seems to me that even though we're talking about a 300-room resort, the attention that was paid to it suggested that this is a massive resort complex with a great return on it. And so my sense is that they're going to have a high rate of occupancy. because of the comfort that people will have and the willingness to return and tell other people about it. I expect the finished product to be just absolutely magnificent. It seems to me the touches they're putting in here and the innovations that they're putting, like you come into the front desk and then behind the front desk, you have a bar, and so it's just wonderful. I can't wait to come to declare the official opening, because it also means that at least another 100 people will be employed, possibly more. And so that's the most important thing for me, that this investment has created a lot of jobs and has given the economy of Bimini an incredible boost, an enduring one that I think will cause the people who live and reside on this island to be able to benefit substantially.
Gerardo Capo is the developer. He's looking forward to expanding his offerings with more tourist traffic and Bimini business.
Well, we're finishing the second phase of the existing hotel, or the new hotel that we're building. It's a Hilton hotel, and it's the second phase is the remaining of the building. We have already 250 rooms open since late last year, or mid last year, and now we're completing the lobby and the commercial area. This is going to be finished by Memorial Day. We should complete the entire hotel, and we will have the inauguration on Memorial Day. We're now hiring another 150 more Bahamians for the new upcoming phase, and we're out to the races.
But by the time the property opens, he's hoping to have not only increased the numbers, but the diversity of guests.
We're going out after a new market. Bimini has become a destination today. It has become a destination because we're increasing the air travel from Miami and from Fort Lauderdale to Bimini via the seaplanes. We have five flights a day now from Miami and Fort Lauderdale to Bimini. We're incrementing flights to South Bimini Airport, and now you can buy a ticket in New York for $440 round trip to Bimini, make a connection in Fort Lauderdale or Miami, and just fly and come to Bimini. So that puts New York and the eastern United States in to connect with Bimini and makes us a destination.
It also makes for a bright light amidst queries over the Bimini Fast Ferry's temporary suspension. Resorts World says a smaller, more efficient vessel should return to the island before mid-year.
The Bahamas, like the global community, continues to watch the spread of the Zika virus. Government says its priority right now is to ensure it is well ahead of the threat and that all necessary precautions and protocols have been implemented to minimize the risk of transmission. Both tourism and health ministers spoke with reporters on the latest attempts to shore up bookings while ensuring the word gets out that the Bahamas is not a threat despite the virus heavily impacting this region. We get more from Clint Watson.
The government expects its response to the threat of the Zika virus to be better than that of the dengue fever epidemic.
It has to be. And so we are working hard at it. We were monitoring the situation here for about 3 months and not saying anything.
According to Health Minister Dr. Perry Gomez, the focus is on killing the mosquito that causes the virus as a preventative measure.
Emphasis must be on eradicating the mosquito, and that is by cleaning up our respective places, fogging by the government, and so on, to kill the mosquitoes that are out there. But you want to stop the mosquito from breeding, and that's why the thing about cleaning the environment. Any stagnant water will be the haven for the breeding of the mosquito, and if we can do that, it really doesn't matter really if a case comes in, because there'll be nothing to transmit it.
Earlier this week, Jamaica's Ministry of Health confirmed one imported case. Dr. Gomez, responding to reporters, says the Bahamas is not prepared at this time to issue warnings to pregnant women.
No, we have made no such declaration here.
Is that a consideration?
Not at this time. Let's hope we never get it.
But similar warnings issued elsewhere propelled individuals to either delay or cancel traveling the region. Although Tourism Minister Obi Wolscombe says there's no major dent in the tourism bookings here in the Bahamas.
We have been told that several individuals and some of the smaller hotels have been told, 1 or 2 pregnant women were told not to travel in the region at this time. and they will not be coming to the Bahamas at this time because of what's happening in the region. And obviously they're being more cautious, and we understand that. But generally we've not seen a decline in our bookings, and we've seen that the season looks good as it is now. But of course we've got to constantly monitor. I think what's important is for the world to know what we're doing, to have a sense of comfortability coming to the Bahamas, to understand that every effort is being made. And when they say region, sometimes they say Caribbean, they think it's everybody in the Caribbean. So what we do is we ensure that the message gets out that the Bahamas is doing what it must do to ensure that we manage the situation as best we can.
Clint Watson, ZNS Network News.
It's an unusual day at the office. Can you guess where I am? Find out coming up in the Bahamas Tonight.